Well, good evening out there in internet land. My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and welcome to this Monday night edition of the Newsroom. Glad to have all of you here with us tonight. Glad you're in the house. Good to see all you fine people out there. Oh my goodness, it is Monday night. It is National Championship night in college football. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes in a little bit. Glad to have all you guys here with us. Glad you're settling in. My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative. I am sometimes known in social media as the fine fella in the fedora. On occasion, I'm called the common man with common sense. But in this moment, as always, above all else, I am your host. We are on Rumble, we are on X, and we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So if you would not mind, please do me some favors as always. Number one, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to me on YouTube and Rumble. You can find me under the Front Porch Conservative. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and hit the bell for notifications. Let's make sure you're always aware when something new is breaking loose on this channel. And Lord, it usually is always breaking loose. That's all I'm telling you. Also, go ahead tonight, hit the thumbs up, be it on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, wherever you be out there in social media. Would be greatly, greatly appreciated. And leave a comment. Believe it or not, those two things, hitting the thumbs up button and leaving the comment in chat, they do a lot to help push this little live stream out there so people can see what we're doing and having fun doing it. Oh, good to have all you guys here. Thank you for your indulgences of me, as I was not here this last Saturday morning. The lady was in town and we were celebrating her birthday. And she is, as I jokingly call it, the anniversary of her universe-altering event, which was coming into the world. And we had a wonderful time. Had a wonderful time with her family, my family. Everybody had a lot of fun. It was a great time. And she is safely back in her environs where she lives. And we had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So thank you for your indulgence of allowing me to switch this live stream to this evening. And we got, we're going to keep it kind of loose, kind of have a little fun tonight. Got a whole bunch of memes, got 2 or 3 stories that I want to get into, which I think are of interest. But we'll, let's see who all is in the house so far. Let's see. Let us see. Now wait a minute. What do you mean I was late? I couldn't have been late. Maybe 5 seconds. 5 seconds. You're going to get on my case for 5 seconds? Seriously? Oy vey. I'm glad to see you, TBA. There you go. Indeed, sir. And thank you as always. We're glad to have you here in the audience tonight. Gypsy's here. Hi, everyone. Are y'all wrapped up in some blankies? It's coked out there. Oh, sister, it's seriously coked out there. Little nose candy. No, you meant cold. I'm so sorry. My apologies. Yeah. I don't read very well anymore. Let's see who else is here. Hello, my darling. Glad to have you in the house tonight. See who else is here. Good evening, lovely Lana. Good to have you here. Let's see who else is floating around. I haven't had a chance to say hello to yet. Everybody's kind of settling in. And we got some folks out there checking us out on X. Well, glad to have you. For you X folks out there, say hello. Don't be. We glad to have you. So, check us out and say hello wherever you be out there on Twitter or excuse me, X. Said I'd start calling it X more this year. Kawana's in the house. Who you got in the game tonight? I'm going for Indiana. I loves me an underdog. I got to go for Indiana. That and the fact I think their coach Signetti is, he is a combination of all kinds of good things in college coaching. So, and he's done a remarkable job. So, to raise your glasses to the Hoosiers, may they win the national championship tonight. At least that's who I'm rooting for. Now, if y'all are rooting for Miami, that's okay. I still love you. You're just wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No, if you want to root for Indiana, go for it. But it's going to be a great game. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Robert Lowry's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, brother, we understand completely. If you're modding for Kerry Smith, totally understandable. So, totally understandable. I'm rooting for the winner. Well, there you go. See, now that's almost a political answer. That's almost political. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Oh, wow. It is so good to have all you guys here tonight. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time out there. I don't know how long our live stream is going to go, but hopefully we're not going to interfere with your football watching if you have intentions of watching the national championship game. I think this is going to be a good one. Personally, I really do. I like Indiana's chances. The thing I think people are underestimating Miami, and the reason I say that, I saw a statistic. Gosh, where was this? May have been on somewhere, maybe on Facebook or maybe been on Twitter. I forget which. And I hope I'm getting this right. The defensive line for Miami outweighs the offensive line of Indiana by about 60 or 70 pounds. Now, you hear me say that, and if you don't know anything about college football, you'll say to yourself, well, that's not that big a deal. If those Indiana boys are in good shape, then it shouldn't matter. Yeah, but you have 70 extra pounds weighing on you, for over the course of a 60-minute football game. Yeah, that's going to start working on you. So, I don't know. I think people are underestimating what Miami can do. I still am hoping that Indiana pulls it out. Indiana is probably one of the best college football stories, that we're going to see. So, we'll see what happens. Well, now, hello. Who is this person here? Audrey T4E. We've had a Republican president, a Republican majority in our branch of government for years. It's probably as good as it's going to get. We're going to get into that because we got one story tonight that I have a message. I have a message for the Trump administration, and it basically can be summed up in 2 words: shut up. Anyway, so let's see. TBA asked the question: is the Indiana-Miami game in Miami or in the frigid cold of Hoosier? It's in Miami. Interestingly enough, and I think this is a first that the University of Miami of Florida is playing in a national championship game that is hosted in their home stadium. So it's very, very interesting in that regard. Very interesting. But let me pop back up here for a second. Audrey, I don't know if you're a regular here or if you've changed names on me, but if you're not, welcome to the live stream. We're glad to have you. And hang around for a while. We'll see if we can get some good conversation going. But welcome in. Glad to have. Anyway. All right. Speaking of the national, now, hey, we are a going little concern out there in social media, as y'all are, as I am a want to tell you guys, and we have a new sponsor. So this sponsor might be very, very much used to you. You gotta consider it's probably friends coming over to your house. You're probably trying to describe or figure out, what kind of snacks to serve. Well, our new sponsor may be able to help you out with that. And ladies and gentlemen, check out this advertisement. New sponsor of the show with a product that you might be very much interested in. And with that, check this out.
Happy New Year, everyone. If you are having a get-together tonight and are making a snack list, then please consider Big Mike's Nuts. Barry says Big Mike's Nuts are the saltiest, best nuts he has ever had. Big Mike's Nuts come from a small town in Kenya where Barry was born called Mayundis, Kenya. Barry likes to rest Big Mike's nuts on his chin before eating them. Barry really likes Big Mike's nuts without washing them first. He says he loves them extra salty. So if you are looking for a good snack, then maybe you will like my nuts. Tell them at the store that you wish to have my nuts put in a sack for your way home. Again, Happy New Year.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Consider Big Mike's nuts this evening when you're looking for a snack to watch the game with. So there you go. I, how dare you call Salty an old reprobate? That's terrible, sir. Absolutely terrible. Oh no, I may have ruined your ability to enjoy one of your favorite snacks. I apologize, Gypsy. I apologize. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh, so calling him an old reprobate is a term of endearment. Like calling a woman an old hooker is a term of endearment. I'll see how it is. Oh, goodness me. WWG1. Seriously? Seriously. Oh my, this is untoward and I absolutely reject this. I disavow. Wait a minute. You call your significant other an old hoe? Oh my goodness. Yeah, you two. You between you and WWG1, I don't know which one's worse. That's all I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Oh, did you guys hear the news about the study that came out of the CDC? I don't know. I don't know if you've heard about this yet or not, but big news. Matter of fact, let me get this thing pulled up here. I think you guys are going to be very interested in this. A scientific study was just released today, and ladies, y'all need to pay attention to this because this is daggone important. And with that, here is the breaking news from the day.
Recent lab findings has the CDC warning liberal women to avoid pink and blue hair dye. We take you now to the CDC.
The dyes not only led to an increase in aggressive behavior, but the mice also developed unusual vocal capabilities.
Trump, Trump, patriarchy!
Wow. Folks, listen. Especially for you ladies out there, if you were thinking about, maybe doing some hair coloring or something like that, look, really think hard about this. Now, supposedly this only affects liberal women, okay, according to the study. But listen, that stuff seeps down into your scalp, gets into your brain cavity, start on some weird things, the pitch on your voice goes higher. I don't know that I'd risk it. I really don't know that I would risk it. I'm just saying. So it's rough. It really is. Now, speaking well, hello, how are you this evening? Good to have you here with us. Oh goodness, this turned into quite the party. No, she is not going to show up in pink hair. No. I can safely tell you the lady is never going to show up in pink hair. Actually, it's blonde, actually. It's no blonde jokes. No blonde jokes. Thank you very much. She's a very shrewd blonde. Just saying. It doesn't matter really what generation you're talking about, be it baby boomers or the silent generation or whoever. Getting used to computers is a really tough thing. I mean, you're given some very basic commands and sometimes you just don't understand what you're being told. I mean, for example, you hear the term accept all cookies and then you go to the Oreo website and now you're waiting around. I got bad news for you. If you went to the website thinking that you're going to get a whole bunch of free cookies, it's not happening. It's a computer command. Trust me. Really tough. Tax season is coming up. That sir is wrong in so many different ways. Seriously. Oh, my word. Come on. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. I do not know what I'm going to do with you. Anyway, getting back to what I was starting to say, tax season is coming up, and it's always stressful for everybody. And believe it or not, it's even stressful for the federal government. Now, you hear me say that, and you think to yourself, oh, how stressful can it be? They're collecting all the money. Well, that may be true, but even they have to give an accounting in certain situations. I mean, for example, can you imagine an IRS employee or the IRS commissioner, which in this case is currently the Treasury of the Secretary, when he gets the question, do you have any dependents? I don't know about you guys, but this gets kind of hard to answer, don't you think? I don't know. I mean, do we list Zelensky and Netanyahu as dependents of the United States? I think you can make a pretty decent argument we could, sadly. But yeah, we might have to put down Israel and Ukraine as dependents of the United States for tax accounting purposes internationally, I suppose. Just saying. And I'll probably have a Mossad agent on my front door for that joke. If you don't see me again, you'll know what happened. Anyway, you know, when we're talking about all the things that are going on in Minnesota right now, oh, really? Really? Now, WWG1, I want you to know that on occasion, the lady does watch these live streams. And when she hears about you telling these kind of blonde jokes, I'm just saying she has respect for you, by the way. I just want you to know that. But jokes like these may not endear you to her. I'm just saying. But who am I to stop free speech? You know, and you egging him on is not helping matters. Really, it's just you. It's not helping matters at all, sir. Well, you never know. Might happen. Might happen sometime. Yeah, she is an absolute sweetheart, and I'm sure she'd get quite the kick out of meeting you as well. Anyway, so going back to Minnesota for a second. I mean, when you think about all that's going on up there, not just in terms of ICE and everything else, but particularly all the fraud that's being found, you know, it does make you think more broadly beyond just the state of Minnesota. And I'm going to put one up here for your consideration. Occasionally I come up with, you know, a meme, or someone sends me a meme that just speaks for itself. I don't have to really say anything. And such is the case right here. Think about the following. So there you go, folks. Just think about it for a second. Just think about it. Anyway, now here's an interesting comment. Get another mic and put her on. Double the fun with two hosts. I have encouraged her that she really ought to start her own live stream. And she's like, what am I going to talk about? And I said, well, what about football? You're quite interested in football. Maybe you could start your own football channel. College, pro, who knows, you know. We'll see. Well, 17 George is in the house. How you doing, sir? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Good to have you here in the house. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this truly is 100% accurate. Totally 100% accurate. You're not. What? Now, wait a minute. I'm sure she'd like to talk about something other than being blonde. Good grief. Good grief. Anyway. And in that same vein, talking about Minnesota corruption, just stop and think about this, my friends. All we've been talking about so far is the stuff that's been recently discovered. Consider, it could be just like an iceberg. You got corruption you've seen, and then there's the stuff you haven't seen yet. And let me tell you something. if this meme is indicative of what's going on in Minnesota, oh baby, they're gonna blow the roof off the place. They're gonna blow the roof off the place. Absolutely crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, by the way, speaking of Minnesota, these ICE protesters, a lot has been said about them lately. And I know a lot's been said about them, but you know, I got to be honest with you. I'm not really sure that they're all that dedicated to what they're doing. I mean, seriously, consider the following. Man, if they're not willing to light themselves on fire, should we really take them all that seriously? You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I agree. They seem a little conviction. Just saying. However, I will say this. There are sometimes some funny things that come out of these ICE protests. Very funny, actually. I don't know did you guys see this video? This is from Minnesota. Check this out. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it.
Fucking procedure.
There is behind you.
Draw your weapon. Fucking procedure. They might be backing up.
According to procedure, you must draw your weapon on all vehicles headed towards you.
Oh, that was smart.
Oh, look at him. Someone get that shit on recording.
Put it in your teeth. Put it in your teeth.
That shit was not for you, pussy. That shit was not for you. Oh, you don't even know what he did, bro.
I don't know who this guy is on the megaphone. He's funny. Oh,
Oh, he's fucking flirting. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You guys don't care about dead mothers? There is fine.
no, but he does care about getting a date. So, hey, this guy's on to something here, man. What? Hey, stop that. Man, daggone Miami fans are trying to break in on my live stream here. I tell you what. Terrible, I say. Terrible. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Yeah, Valentine's Day. Hey, look, ICE agents have got to date somebody. Maybe he saw this other agent and thought, free roses. No, the lady and I did not meet at an ICE protest. Okay, just no, it's not how that happened. Goodness, no, that's not how that happened. Anywho, all right, what else have we got in the way of the merry memes? Yeah, here's something else for you to consider, as a matter of fact, and this one is compliments of Salty. Just think about this. And you know what? I got to say something in all seriousness. I will say this. Don't get me wrong. Our deficit is caused by, spending more money than we take in. On the other hand, if we're finding out there's billions and billions of dollars of fraud in just Minnesota, how much of our lack of money is due to just blatant theft as opposed to just stupid spending? I mean, you got the last time we were here, I think on the low end, it's like $300 to $500 billion a year. I agree with you, Gypsy. I totally agree with you. Totally. We are basically letting people steal from us hand over fist. And And now we've got a national debt, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, the national debt's caused by a whole bunch of different things, but boy, wouldn't we be in a better position if we weren't having people stealing from us left and right? Just saying. Just saying. Oh yeah, I have no doubt. I have no doubt it's rampant everywhere. California, Ohio, New York, you know. Oh yeah, true that. True that, my friends. All right. Now a lot of people have given the Muslim community in this country a lot of grief for, some of it's deserved, some of it's not. But honestly, though, if you stop and think about it, Arabic culture, the Muslim community has made a lot of contributions throughout world history. I mean, seriously. As a matter of fact, someone reminded us of one of the biggest contributions that they ever made. Did you know that in the year 1272, Arabic Muslims invented the condom using a goat's lower intestine? However, almost 600 years later, the British found a way to perfect the idea. So, yeah, buddy. And you start to wonder why the Muslims and the British don't get along very well. There's a little bit of history there, just saying. Yeah. Yikes. All right. What else do we have here? What else do we have? Now, WWG1, you sent me something, and I need some context on this. I'm going to play it. There is a girl in Great Britain. I guess her name is Amelia. And she dyed her hair, but it's doing good things for her. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. From the British Isles, a new heroine has arisen.
Tonks?
No, I'm Amelia. We need to talk about Islam in the UK. Catholic, Protestant, atheist. We're all buggered if Islam takes over. Which must be burnt, of course, but honour killing your daughters for not wearing hijab is much too far.
But Wallace, dogs are haram. If the Muslims take over, Gromit is a goner. Pigs are haram too, Pepper. Your entire family line ended.
And forget LGBT acceptance. Muslims will toss them out the window. Literally. First, we remove the Islamists from our government and our country, Paddington. Then marmalade.
Well, like I say, I'm not quite sure who this Amelia is, but that's one base chick. I'll tell you what, I can get down with her. Amelia is a well-known character there. Okay. Oh, well, now wait a minute. More on this. She is a lib in Britain. Well, I don't know that being a lib in Britain is necessarily all that bad, considering what they're fighting against right now. Now, it sort of depends on how you define lib. So, oh my goodness. Goodness me. All right. A few more. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it was Lana who sent this to me. We may have found the mascot for AOC's 2028 presidential run. And if you haven't seen this yet, check it out.
Daniel Yor.
Or it could be that she just woke up from a hangover. So, anyhow, yeah, interesting. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, have you guys ever gone to a comedy show? Have you guys ever gone to a comedy show where there's an interpreter? Yes, ma'am. You did. Yes, ma'am, you did send that. Yes, ma'am, you did. You guys ever gone to a comedy show where there's an interpreter? You might find this interesting. Check it out.
Y'all gotta forgive me, I'm a little distracted. This is the first show I've ever done with an interpreter. This is fucking cool right now. Well, I'm trying to learn shit. Retard. 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 Democrat. Democrat. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I knew it. Democrat. Democrat. Retard. Retard. Democrat. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. Are you kidding me? I did not set this up, Democrat. Democrat. It's the same thing. I quit. Mommy, good night. I left.
Hey, who knew the things you find out when you go to a comedy show? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, one more. And yeah, one more. If you would like a picture that helps you understand the times in which we live, I think this one pretty well sums it up. Hey, just when you thought language was dead, just saying. Well, now that's true. That is true. Be it sign language or other. There you go. If you want one picture that sums up the era in which we live, consider this. Now, let me tell you something. That one is not wrong at all. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. As always, much thanks to WWG1, much thanks to TBA, to Salty Old Fart, to Lana, to Gypsy, to any number of people who contributed memes tonight. And if you're wondering how you can get in on the act, well, right down here is where you start. You see this? That is my handle on X. Tag me in a tweet. Send me a DM. My DMs are open. You know. So, there you go. There you go. I think I used all of you. I think I used all of yours, sir. Unless there's one that I'm forgetting. But hang on, let me double check. I could be wrong about that. One moment, please. Let's see. We got that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we kind of got to get into that subject. And we got, okay, we used that one. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. I got them all. Got that too. Okay. Oh, yeah, there is one. And actually, it kind of leads off on our first story. So this kind of makes sense. You guys have heard about what's going on with us in Greenland right now, right? Okay. Well, we'll get to that momentarily. But if you're wanting to send in a tweet, a Twitter, a meme, a story idea, hey, right down here, tag me on Twitter. You can either tag me, send me a DM. We'll take a look at it. Host reserves the right to use or not use what you send in, but more often than not, what you send in does make its way to the screen. So take your best shot. Let's see what happens. All right. TBA sent me a meme, and this one makes a lot of sense. And I'll just pop this up on screen. Right now, we have a convergence of Greenland, Alaska, Canada, and the United States. Because I tell you what, this whole Greenland situation is just absolutely just getting out of control. But then again, what else is new in the second term of Donald John Trump as American president? I mean, this is just absolutely straight crazy. Now, let's back up. Let's back up a second for the sake of discussion's purposes. As you all know, Donald Trump announced at the beginning of his second term that the United States was very interested in acquiring Greenland. And it kind of caught everybody off guard because it wasn't really anything he talked about during the campaign. And Greenland? Now, actually, Trump's been talking about Greenland going all the way back to his first term, although everybody just kind of like, it's Trump blowing off an idea. Who knows? Yada, yada, yada. Well, the longer this year has gone on, the more Trump has gotten very, very fixated on this idea of the United States acquiring Greenland. It's the modern equivalent of us. I mean, if this were, let's see, if this were 160 or 170 years ago, we'd be talking about the United States acquiring Alaska from the Russians. Well, this is our equivalent in the 21st century. And it'd be one of the biggest territorial gains we'd made in decades. I shouldn't say territory. You couldn't call it a gain as an acquisition. Let's put it that way. It's probably a better way of saying it. Well, negotiating teams have come to the White House, and Europe is all aghast at this idea. They cannot believe that Donald Trump is genuinely serious about this idea. Well, from the BBC, we had the following headline: Trump ties Greenland demands to Nobel Prize in message to Norway's leader. This is a story the BBC posted about 3 hours ago by Mallory Monek. We have the following. U.S. President Donald Trump said he no longer feels obligated to think only of peace after he was not awarded the Nobel Prize last year. In a message to Norway's Prime Minister, Jonas Støre, Trump blamed the country for not giving him the prize. In his reply to Trump, Støre explained that an independent committee, not the government of Norway, awards the prize, which last October went to Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado. In the same message to Støre, Trump insisted the U.S. needed, quote, complete and total control of Greenland, the semi-autonomous Danish territory. Asked later if he planned to use force to seize it, he replied, no comment. Denmark is a member of NATO, a defense alliance with the U.S. as its most influential partner. It works on the principle that members should defend each other in case of external attacks. There has never been an attack by one member against another since the alliance was founded in 1949. Denmark has warned the United States that United States military action in Greenland would spell the end of NATO. It has received the support from European members of the alliance. Some even sent a handful of troops to Greenland last week in a move seen as symbolic. However, Trump followed the deployment with an announcement to impose a 10% tariff on goods from 8 NATO allies, including the UK, from February the 1st if they oppose his takeover of Greenland, and threatened to raise it to 25% by June. It was in this context of heightened tension that Jonas Støre sent a message to Trump on behalf of himself and the Finnish president, Alexander Stubb. The two European leaders said we should all work to take this down and de-escalate. So much is happening around all of us right now where we need to stand together. All right, let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about this. Look, do I think that Donald Trump is genuinely serious about trying to get a hold of Greenland for the United States? I do. I don't think this is some kind of a whim. I don't think this is some kind of a feign or a passing fancy, whatever you want to call it. I think he's genuinely serious. That said, do I think Donald Trump is going to use the military to take over Greenland? No, absolutely not. I think, and I could be dead wrong, but I don't think I'm that far off on this one. I just don't see. I think what Trump is doing in part is a negotiating tactic, as he is prone to do in these situations. Okay. Look, the acquisition of Greenland does make sense. Now, somebody pointed out something the other night, and that I hadn't considered, but they were right. There is using Greenland and there is owning Greenland. Now, what were they getting at? Well, I was watching Law for the People with Viva and Barnes, and Robert Barnes made a very interesting point. Did you know we already have military bases at Greenland? Had them there for decades. As a matter of fact, we may have had nuclear missile launch capabilities near the top end of Greenland. Nuclear missile bases. So we already have American assets in Greenland. Okay. So if you get right down to it, we can use Greenland for military purposes already. But Trump doesn't want to just use green military bases. He wants to own it, which sort of begs the question, why? Well, rare earth. But Trump and his people have so, at least in my opinion, y'all feel free to disagree with me on this. Trump and his people have not really made a good case for why we're doing this. How does this advantage the average American? Well, hang on a second, because I want to get into this. Oh yeah, he's absolutely trying to acquire Greenland. Oh yeah. And this is will acquiring Greenland mean seal meat potentially being available to Americans? I ask the important questions. You ask a question in jest, but I'll be honest with you. You ask a question that's pretty good, and I'll tell you why. Here's in part one of the problems that I've got with this whole thing. I mean, look, strategically, I don't disagree with the idea of trying to actually own Greenland. Okay. If we can find a deal to make this work, that makes sense to me. Because Trump does have a valid point. There's a difference between defending a leased property versus actual territory. Okay. I can sort of see that. But what's the actual net benefit to you and me? Okay, so we acquire Greenland. What does that do for us? How does that help the bottom line, our bottom line every day in life? I think that's a fair question. I mean, are we going to get seal meat or are we going to get something else? You know, TBA says, sounds like a threat. Old Donald is going to Davos this week to dictate the terms of surrender to the Davos clique. Okay, now there's an angle I hadn't quite considered. That. 17 George says, people forget there are many, many types of force, not all of it physical, and NATO was supposed to end in the 90s anyway, so good. Yeah, see, there's something else. Now, there's an angle right there that a lot of people are not thinking about. I want to pull up something, and I was listening to a little bit of this before the live stream tonight. I was just trying to get ready. And let me see if I can find this real fast. Hang on, folks. Yeah, here it is. Uncle Alex was commenting on this today, and he brings up a good point. And some people in the press are actually getting this. But for those who aren't, this might be a good primer. I want to play. This runs maybe about a couple of minutes, maybe 3 at the most. But this is something to consider. Take a listen to this.
I've studied Trump in depth, watched his moves, retroactively studied him in his earlier life before I really started focusing on him about 10, 12 years ago. And he's not always playing 3D chess. He's not always outmaneuvering super mastermind stuff. But when it comes to business and geopolitics, when it comes to shaking up the old order, he is a savant. And the entire global corporate media is in absolute meltdown mode over his letter to NATO and to Denmark over Greenland that, well, since I didn't get my peace prize, I guess it's war then. But Trump isn't obsessed with the stupid Nobel Prize. He's using that to beat the EU and NATO over the head that have refused to do a peace deal with Russia the last year and who have said they're going to keep fighting no matter what. And then Trump needs a way to get in NATO's face and to point out to the American people that we're in a confrontation with NATO as a pretext to pull out. Not, again, you don't want a pretext, we're getting out of NATO because you're holding us hostage with war in Russia. We're getting out of NATO because they are the new Soviet Union, the EU. No, it's, oh, you don't want us to have that. And now NATO sent paltry troops, France and Germany and England, a few hundred troops there. It's a joke. This is about Trump changing the subject away from, if he pulls support to the war with Russia, which he's already basically done, they go, oh, you're a Russian agent. But Trump does this, gets NATO to come out and attack him, put troops in, say now America's our enemy. Now, Trump can completely change the subject over to, why are we supporting NATO? And NATO is saying, if you go in to Greenland, you have violated the article of NATO invading a NATO state, even though Greenland is not part of NATO. They're claiming via Denmark it is. So Trump, I can't believe they took the bait on this. And I knew this weeks ago. I didn't want to say it, but I think they figured it out now, so I'll say it. This is how amateur they are. They haven't even figured out that Trump is setting them up to kick us out of NATO.
Now, okay, take that for what it's worth. But in article after article, you have this just kind of like, what's the word I'm looking to describe it? This sort of impending, threatened doom. Let's call it that. An impending, threatened doom that, oh my God, Trump's going to destroy NATO. He's going to militarily take over Greenland, and it will cause the NATO alliance to fall apart. You know what my reaction to that is? Oh, baby, go for it. Go for it. Yes. Yeah. Who was it that said this earlier? Was it 17 Georgia? I saw a great comment. Where was this? Hang on, I'm trying to find this. Yeah, go back to what you said. NATO was supposed to end in the 90s anyway. Look, y'all have heard me say this before, and you guys have said it in one form or another. NATO has been an organization looking for a mission ever since the late 90s. I mean, there was at one point a valid reason to have NATO. Why? Because you had the old Soviet Union and the Warsaw Pact trying to, move further and further west. The NATO alliance stood as a bulwark against Soviet expansion for the better part of what? 40, 50 years? See, the NATO alliance was formed in 49, 59, 69, 79, 89. Yeah, for the better part of 40 years. Soviet Union falls apart. The Warsaw Pact falls apart. NATO alliance still hanging around. What the heck good is the NATO alliance anyway? Except to have us spend militarily to protect Europe. Protect them from what? There's nothing to protect them from anymore. The Soviet Union is gone. Well, Russia's still there. Not the same thing. Absolutely not the same thing. And if we had an ounce of common sense, we'd be trying to work with the Russians on a whole bunch of different things, as opposed to treating them like some kind of, enemy. But no, not us. Not us. WWG1 says, using Greenland means there must be some sort of understanding. We already have that. Then it's all optics. Owning is way better than using. True. I'll agree with that. TBA says Greenland has a crap ton of silver. Oh, now there'd be a valid reason to try and get your hands on it, and not just for the silver, but again, rare earth minerals. I agree with that. And if we own all of Greenland, we are not subject to Denmarkian law or regulation. I'm down with that idea. Let's see, what else do we have here? TBA also says in 46, the U.S. secretly offered to buy Greenland, but it was rejected by Denmark. 49, Greenland has been under the protection of NATO, of which the U.S. and Denmark are both members. Nevertheless, the Joint Chiefs proposed acquiring Greenland in 55. Okay. Let's see, what other comments do we have about this? 17 George says, we've technically been at war with NATO since the mid-2000s, just the globalists in our government keep the fake peace. Well, you're not wrong there, my friend. We are not wrong there. Yeah, that's what some people are calling it, the Donroe Doctrine. To me, it's interesting. I tend to agree with a lot of people. I think before the end of this year, we are going to own Greenland. The question is how we get there. I mean, we'll see what happens. But again, I come back to a number of questions. And one of them is, what does this do for the average American? What does this do for you or me? I mean, strategically, yeah. Getting our hands on Greenland, and I mean owning it, makes a whole lot of sense. But how does that help the average American? This is one of the frustrations that I have right now with the Trump administration. They cannot make this argument. They can't make any argument. With the exception of a handful of people, there are very few people at high policy levels of the Trump administration that can argue why we should do something and how it benefits you and me. Now, that doesn't mean you just have to agree with them on their argument, but at least they ought to try. You know, my friend, you may be right. You may be right. I mean, because honestly, if Trump's doing this in part to get us out of NATO, which would make sense to me, then NATO falls apart. There is no way that the member nations of Europe can keep NATO going without us. It's our military and our money that funds NATO. If we leave, NATO's gone. And frankly, we should have left 30 years ago. We should have left the mid-1990s. So we'll see what happens. TBA says, how much money gets stolen from America and divvied up around the world? Trump's, quote, foreign policy will benefit all of us by keeping our money at home. Okay. Then they need to start making that argument. Oh, yeah. At least 90% of NATO. At least. We'll see, man. We will see. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff indeed. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. All right. Real quick commercial, then we'll move on to another topic. If you have happened upon this live stream tonight, we're glad that you are here. We've got folks watching us on X. We got folks watching us on YouTube. We got folks watching us on Rumble. This is the Monday Night Newsroom. Now, normally this live stream takes place on Saturday morning, called Front Porch Brunch, but due to personal matters, I was not able to live stream this weekend. But either way, be it on Saturday, be it on today, be it on any day of the week, if you're not subscribed to my channel, do me a favor. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications and leave a thumbs up and leave a comment and chat. All of those things together will help you and help me. So help a going little concern become a going big concern. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, let's move on to our next. Now, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I did not stiff you on Saturday. I'm doing a makeup stream. The makeup stream is tonight. I would not go so far as to say that I stiffed you guys. I mean, the lady was in town. What was I going to do? You know? Seriously. Oh, my goodness. Oh, now we got some more peanut gallery comments. Saturday mornings I have to drink mimosas. Monday night I can drink beer. I guess there's no real downside with Brian's plan. Well, there you go, TBA. That's what I call looking at the glass half full. No pun intended. For the love of God. I am not even going to answer that question. I am not even going to answer that question. Lord. I love you guys. I genuinely do. Did you guys hear about what happened with Don Lemon recently? And this kind of goes back to the whole Minnesota thing. I got a story here from Fox News, and I had just heard about this today. So I'm going to kind of be learning about this as well. Headline: Don Lemon responds to Trump's DOJ threat, stands by coverage of anti-ICE protest at Minnesota church. Article by Brian Flood, Joseph Wolfson of Fox News. We have the following. Former CNN host Don Lemon stands by his reporting as the Justice Department has leveled a threat against him for joining anti-ICE protesters at a St. Paul church. Quote, "It's notable that I've been cast as the face of a protest I was covering as a journalist, especially since I wasn't the only reporter there. That framing is telling," Don Lemon told Fox News Digital in a statement. "What's even more telling is the barrage of violent threats, along with homophobic slurs and racist slurs, directed at me online by MAGA supporters and amplified by parts of the right-wing press." Okay, now hold on. I'm going to call BS here. Hey, Don. Not that I think you're going to listen to me, but hey, if you have examples of these homophobic or racist slurs, would you please present them so we can take a look at it? No, I'm serious. You guys like you make statements like this all the time. You know, come on, let's see it. Put it out there. You have no problem accusing folks on the political right of being racist or homophobic and saying that we make comments toward you. Okay, let's see them. Come on, big boy. Pony up. Let's see it. No, I did not see the side-by-side. I did not. If you want to tag me, again, only if you can do it real quick. If you want to tag me, let me see them. I'd be very interested in seeing this. But anyway, going back to the article. If this, and this is from Don Lemon's statement, if this much time and energy is going to be spent manufacturing outrage, it would be far better used investigating the tragic death of Renee Nicole Good, the very issue that brought people into the streets in the first place. I stand by my reporting. Okay. Lemon, went viral Sunday for his reporting on the chaos that unfolded at City's Church, telling viewers that the freedom to protest is what the First Amendment is all about. However, Harmeet Dillon, the Justice Department's Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, suggested Lemon's participation was illegal. Quote, "A house of worship is not a public forum for your protest," Harmeet Dillon told Lemon on X. "It is a space protected from exactly such acts by federal criminal and civil laws, nor does the First Amendment protect your pseudo-journalism of disrupting a prayer service. You are on notice." Let's see. So apparently, Don Lemon stormed a church during the service and disrupted the entire service, claims he was doing an act of journalism, Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Goodness me. Anyway. So, okay, now hang on, because I need some help here. Do we have, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I got to find this now. I got to find this. Give me one moment, folks. Uh-oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. I think I found this. So, a group of protesters stormed the church. Okay. Matter of fact, let me back this up a second. Yeah, here it is. Members of the Radical Justice Network stormed the service at City's Church, protesting Pastor David Easterwood's role as acting ICE field office director and demanding justice for Renee Good, killed in a January 7th ICE raid. Don Lemon live streamed the event, debating church leaders while interviewing activists. Attorney General Pam Bondi ordered a federal probe into potential FACE Act violations for interfering with worship amid broader clashes over ICE arrests of serious criminals in Minnesota's Somali and Latino communities. Okay, so that's the background. I think we've got a clip here. Yeah, we do. We've got a clip, and this will give you an idea of what Don Lemon was doing. Now, he wasn't the only person there, but check this out. He was interviewing, or well, he calls it interviewing. I say it was ambushing. So take a moment and listen to this.
This is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will.
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why.
Whoa. Who's pushing who here? Back it up a second. I don't see.
To assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Whoa. Nobody's pushing Don Lemon. The heck is he talking about? The heck is he talking about here? This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. All right, hang on. We got some more of this. We got another about 25 seconds of this.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Yes. Okay, that's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay,
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
unless you're here to worship. Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, this is disgraceful. So let me make sure I understand this. They're having a church service. They're minding their own business. In come these protesters, and Don Lemon and another camera crew of some kind is there, and they're getting in this pastor's grill. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay. Hey, Don, there is a right to protest and there is a right to assemble, but you don't do it in a church service. You don't exercise your right to protest and, to peaceably assemble by violating someone else's rights to freedom of religion. Okay. All right. Hang on a minute. Let me check this out. Been sent something by the Miss Gypsy. Oh. Hang on a minute, folks. Hang on a minute. We got some updated intel. Hang on. We're going to get into this. All right. Let me put this up on the screen. Hang on. From the Twitter account of I Meme, Therefore I Am, Don Lemon lied after the DOJ launched an investigation into his involvement with an anti-ICE activist who stormed a Minneapolis church. He knew the exact address and knew that they were going to disrupt the church service. Oh, this is starting to get spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on a minute, folks. Hang on a minute. Let's check this out. One moment, please. Now, this is going to run for a little bit, but let's see what we got here. Check it out.
The MAGA administration and the fake news MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even true. So let me just make it clear, because it's a assistant attorney general, I don't know, gosh, what's her name? Something Hammett, Gillen or whatever. So I had no affiliation to that organization. I didn't even know they were going to this church until we followed them there. We were there chronicling protests. Once the protest started in the church, we did an act of journalism, which was report on it and talk to the people who were involved, which included the pastor, members of the church, and members of the organization. That's it. It's called journalism. First Amendment, all that stuff. For all of you people who believe in the First Amendment, absolutist, there you go. So why don't you talk to the actual person who is in charge of the organization and whose idea it was to have the protest at the church before you start blaming me for stuff for which you have no idea. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Okay, now hold on a minute. I have questions. Is it possible that Don Lemon was in Minneapolis and he just happened upon this thing? It's possible. Minneapolis is a fairly large city. Okay. How is it that let's just say that Don Lemon's right. Let's just say this is totally accidental. He's out with a camera guy. They're filming things that are happening on the streets, yada, yada, yada. He's wanting to talk to people. And he just happens to come upon this, rounds the corner somewhere, and happens upon these protesters coming through the doors of the church. He's like, hey, grab the camera. Let's go check this out. Okay. Now, here's the other part of that video. That's what he said after it was over with. Here's what was going on before.
And we all have the address, right?
Yes.
Everybody has the address? Yeah.
So they're getting the operation together again. This is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. That is what I can say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But there we go. Everybody's ready to go. Let's go. Okay. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Don Lemon somehow hung out with this bunch, knew who they were, and was fully aware of where they were going. This is a setup. This is a setup. Okay. Gypsy asked me to read the language of the text before the video. This is an operation that is secret. They invited folks out. And again, this is some of what you heard, and can't tell you what is going on. We're not going to give any of the information away. You know where you're going. Driver, yep. Don Lemon says, we don't know what's happening. We kind of do, but we don't know how it's going to play out, right? Don Lemon says, we are here. I think maybe if you just have it on the church, don't name the location, the producer says. Don Lemon says, I'm not naming the location. Producer, are the congregants really live instead of an in-service right now? Lemon says, no, but they'll be like, why is Don Lemon here Sunday morning church? Okay. Look, investigate him. And if it's found out that he did this, yeah, throw the book at him. Let him have it. Problem is, I don't think the Trump Justice Department's going to do that. So either get off the pot and do something or shut up about it. Remember earlier I said I have a message for the Trump administration, summed up in 2 words, shut up. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Don't sit there and talk about it. Do something. Do something. Well, that's a fairly good question. Yeah. Well, maybe let's play the rest of that video. Hang on. Let me pop that back up there. And let's check this out. I want to hear the rest of this now.
You guys thanks you for allowing me to be here.
Okay,
Thank you guys.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
this is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show on Friday.
Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community, and we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the operation again. We're not gonna get any of the information away. Yeah, but seatbelt. Don't give anything away. But we're doing this clandestine secret operation, and they have found out some information that they want to careful. It's very slippery. Very slippery. They found this operation. They found out some inside information, right? Yeah. And so they're going to. You know where you're going?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good. But again, this is just the beginning of this clandestine operation that they're doing here because of some inside information that they got. So this is going to be very interesting. But this is this is just very rough, off the cuff. IRL. This is a true IRL because it's not produced. We don't know what's happening. We kind of do, but we don't know how it's going to play out. Right. So we'll get to see some of the what happens after this sort of surprise.
It'd be good if you had your meta glasses on.
I do have
inside the building.
I may do that, but I don't know. Can you switch over to my meta? No. We are here now. Do you think if you just have it? I think maybe if you just have it on the church, but they see me, they're gonna know. No,
I don't. It just depends.
What?
Don't name the location.
I'm not naming the location, but I mean, I'm just wondering if you see me.
I mean,
the folks inside see me.
Are the congregants really on live instead of in service right now?
No, but they'll be like, "Why is Don Lemon here?"
Sunday morning church.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
They'll be like, he's. Well, what else? It's Sunday, and we already said the church.
No, we did.
Yes, you said it.
No, I did.
No,
I did not.
We were saying that.
Okay, this thing stinks to high heaven. Absolutely stinks. Harmeet Dillon made a tweet about this. Okay, all right. Let me see what I can find here. One moment, please. Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on.
Crime, and I think the video.
All right, I think I just found it. I think I just found the very one you're talking about, Gypsy. Hang on a second. Well, Harmeet Dillon, the Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division, did respond to this. She was on with Benny Johnson earlier, I guess today, and had the following to say about this. So give me 1 second, folks. All right, hang on. Let me pop this up here. Here we go.
The videos show how close he was to these folks. I think further evidence will show more information about that, but he clearly knew, and he stated before going into the facility, it's on his own video, what was going to happen there. What was going to happen was a violation of federal law, federal criminal law. And I don't know what to say. I mean, the FACE Act has been out there for more than 30 years, and there were lawyers involved in this so-called protest, and their purpose was to terrorize people of faith in a house of worship. They were targeting a different pastor, not the one seen on camera, who they got information was a ICE supervisor. None of that matters. It's off limits to go into a house of worship to do your little protest. Protests can occur on public property. Protests can occur outside, on a sidewalk, certain sidewalks, not all sidewalks. And this is like basic what you learn in the first year of law school. There's a time, place, and manner restrictions on the First Amendment right of protest, and they were violated here in this case. No question about it. The only question is who was involved, how many were involved, and how many charges are going to be brought here. Those are the questions.
Okay. Now, again, I have a response to the Trump administration, or particularly the Justice Department. Put up or shut up. On behalf, I think, of millions of people across this country, I am sick and tired of hearing you guys talk about, oh, this is a violation of the law. We're gonna investigate this. Do something. If Don Lemon is in violation of the FACE Act, or was in conspiracy to be in violation thereof, or is accomplice after the fact, do something. Who was it I saw, or was it TBA said, for the love of God, start arresting somebody? Yeah, how about it? Oh, but I was engaging in journalism. No, you were an accomplice to a violation of federal law. You cannot disrupt a church service like this. You want to protest? Fine. Do it outside the church. That's your own business. Good grief. Yeah, he's very lucky they weren't packing heat or any other object. This is bad. I mean, this is bad on so many levels. Absolutely bad. But yeah, Don Lemon, either you could look at it one of two ways. Either he knew about the fact these folks are about to violate federal law, or he's an active participant. Take your pick. And as anyone that has shown her clip has stated, there were lawyers involved in the attack. Yeah, they were absolutely involved. Absolutely. Unbelievable. Yeah. Who was it? Yeah, straightforward, but will they do anything about it? Will they actually do something? That's my question. Absolutely amazing. Truly. Oh, that's a great point. That is an absolutely great point, and I hadn't thought about that, Lana, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Much like anybody in the Trump administration, I'm not counting them necessarily as a friend. Who are they? The feds. I would like the feds to actually do something, because city of Minneapolis isn't going to do anything about it. County of Hennepin's not going to do anything about it. State of Minnesota's not going to do anything about it. It's going to have to be the feds if anybody does anything. Which makes it, to me, all the more reason at this point, invoke the Insurrection Act, take over the government of Minneapolis, and just the responsibility to go after them? Feds. And not just because the city and the county and the state won't do anything. If this is violation of federal law, then that's a federal jurisdictional question. Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with this. I wholeheartedly agree with it. It's been well past time of the Insurrection Act. Totally. Oh, boy. One more thing, and we're going to bring the train into a station. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I mean, there's all kinds of questions about, where are we in this country in terms of relations of race? There's some things that are good. There's some things that are bad. I would argue that some political leaders have made race relations worse. And I'm not going to get into necessary discussions of who those individuals are. But it is a day to reflect on the life of Martin Luther King Jr. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying Martin Luther King Jr. was perfect. There's a lot of things could be said about the man. A lot has been said about the man. But we would be remiss if we didn't take a moment to enjoy, frankly, what is one of the finest speeches in American political history. Doesn't matter really what decade you're talking about, what era. The I Have a Dream speech is without question one of the greatest speeches ever, and delivered with an eloquence that you don't find with most politicians today, or leaders of any kind. And with that, I give you part of the legendary speech delivered in August 1963 on the Washington Memorial. Here you go.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have the heat of oppression. My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right now in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. Dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at.
Incredible speech.
Philadelphia salutes its favorite son.
I don't care who you are, and don't care what era you're talking about. It will go down as one of the greatest speeches, and has. It will go down as one of the greatest speeches in the history of America, and has. Oh, I'd say Lionel is probably right, my dear. I'd say probably so. Sad, but true. We've come a long way since he gave that speech. I guess depending on how you look at it, we've still got a long way to go. But America now versus America in 1963, or even the Civil Rights era in general, from the 50s through the time the Civil Rights Act was signed into law. We've come a long way. Not perfect, never will be. We've definitely come a long way. Just thought you guys might enjoy hearing a little bit of that speech. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring the train into the station. And no, I'm not necessarily doing this because it's 7:30 in the National Football title game starting. I'm just out of topics for the moment. Anyway, want to thank you guys again for stopping by tonight, and thank you again for your graciousness. Normally, like I said, this live stream is done on Saturdays, but I had company this weekend, and I will go ahead and let you know now. I will be out of town this weekend, so brunch this Saturday morning is postponed. It's either going to be Monday or Tuesday next week, but we'll see. I'm determine that. But yeah, for right now, thank you guys so much. And love you guys as always. Thank you for being here, for the memes, for the comments, for everything you guys do. We will be back Monday or Tuesday of next week. Again, brunch is postponed due to travel this weekend. And love you guys very much. You guys have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of the week. I will catch up with you soon. And remember the words of that great American philosopher, Tom T. Hall, when he said, it's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, more money. You guys have a great night, great rest of the week, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ta.